real quick. Let's get back to business. Let's run it from the top. Of course, as you could tell by the title, what we're going to be speaking about, I did do a couple of videos within the last week or so. One highlighting Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, and his thoughts on Bitcoin, because he does hold Bitcoin. So I was just, like, what kind of presidency would it look like with him in office, seeing that he is an advocate for Bitcoin. And then I did one before Kamala Harris picked her pick on, how they might affect the market. So we're going to go ahead and double back on that. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the market right now. And as you can see, as you know, Bitcoin, I did a video not too long ago. Bitcoin was doing real bad. It got down to 54,000. Some people, I think it got a little bit lower. I think it got down like to 52. Some people were calling for it to get down to 40,000. And then it started pumping back up. I said, beware, it could be a pump fake. It could just be trying to reestablish position. And it still could be. Look, we still could see more downside from the Bitcoin market before we see the upside that we all expect to happen within the next year and 2 months. But as of now, it's holding at 60,000, trying to creep up to 61,000. So it's looking like it's holding pretty steady. It looks like it's on the rebound. We have a market cap of 2.1 trillion, has increased almost 1% over the last day. We've seen a lot of dumping from a lot of these meme coins. A lot of these altcoins have been dumping pretty hard. But Bitcoin, when it holds up, it is typically, a good thing. And even in the last 7 days, you still have Bitcoin down 3%. Which is a good thing because it was down nearly 20% the other day. So we're starting to see it upward trend. Let's see if we can get back to 65,000. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, as I said, I wanted to speak about Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick and running mate, Tim Walz, and what can we expect, or what kind of indications can we get from him on his policies when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So he hasn't said too much publicly in regards to the subject of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, but there are a few things that we might be able to get some type of indications on what his stance would be. So he did receive and return later a $4,000 donation from former FTX engineering director Nasheed Singh in the 2022 election cycle. So they gave him a donation, as they gave a lot of people donations on both sides of the aisle. He returned it. So some people could say that indicates that maybe he doesn't think highly of cryptocurrency. I don't know if I would go that far. It could be that he just smelled something fishy in the waters. As we know, FTX, went under, and, Sam Bankman-Fried is facing prison time. So it could just be that he just didn't like whatever the terms were. Maybe he smelled something fishy about the whole situation and just didn't want no parts of it. It could be that. But another thing that he did is he signed a bill. He signed a law, as they say, targeting crypto kiosks, setting a $2,000 daily limit and offering fraud protection. So you could look at that a couple different ways. You could look at it to say that, hey, he doesn't want, if we're going to be honest, typically people aren't spending $2,000 in cash for Bitcoin from a crypto kiosk. The fees are too high. Typically, they're not. I've used some of these kiosks just to see what the rates would be or whatnot, and typically they're pretty high. So, like, legitimately, most people aren't going to take $2,000 in cash or more to buy crypto when they could easily do it through Cash App or Coinbase or whatever, unless they don't have a bank, right? So take that how you want. Also, some of the things that he has done, which I don't know if it's on here or not, it's clean energy bills. So he's interested in having renewable clean energy as well, which to me, I don't think will affect mining so much, because most miners, they want to use the cleanest, most renewable, the most efficient energy they can to keep the cost down, especially, when you, consider the fact that a lot of these, crypto miners, they're not getting the rewards they used to because of the halving. So, I just want to keep things in perspective and try to be fair and objective about it. Not saying he's a big boost for the market or he would be a big boost for the market. I actually think JD Vance and Trump would probably be better for the crypto market because Trump has changed his, he once was against Bitcoin. Now he's more pro Bitcoin. And of course, he's doing the political thing. He went to the Bitcoin conference. Of course, he's saying a bunch of jargon, which I don't believe he really understands fully, because he did say something goofy about we'll give a Bitcoin check to pay off our national debt, which is not even possible. It's not probable. It's not really a thing, but whatever. It will still pump the market because you know how superficial people can be. And JD Vance actually owns crypto, so I think that they would probably be better for the market. But let's keep it real. We're in a bull cycle right now. So nothing's really going to stop the market from doing what it's going to do if history repeats itself as it has every single time. But speaking of Trump, speaking of crypto, a Trump-themed token soars, then dives 95% after his son dashes hope. The former president backed it. So, of course, this is a Solana token, as you could expect, because Solana has been the meme token blockchain, go-to blockchain, right? Everybody's on Solana with their pump and dumps. And like I've said before, when it comes to these pumps and dumps, when it comes to, trying to get in and out these markets, Solana has been the go-to. Now, here's the problem. If we're going to be honest about it. Oh, my God. Am I in private? That's terrible. But here's the problem. Let me say, now I'm on private, man. This thing is just kicking my ass today, you guys. There we go. Whatever. You guys can catch the replay. But here's the thing when it comes to these Solana tokens, when it comes to meme coins and altcoins in general, that people must understand. Listen, these altcoins, 99.9% of cryptocurrencies are trash. Please believe me when I say that. And I'm not being sensationalized. I'm not exaggerating. I literally mean, if you take all of the cryptocurrencies that are in circulation right now, literally by the numbers, 99.9 of them are trash. They're garbage. They mean nothing. They will not be a long-term store of value. They do not have any utility. They'll never be used as a medium of exchange. That is just the facts. 99.9%, and I mean that. Now, with that said, I'm not saying you can't make money off a lot of these coins. You can, especially in a bull cycle. In fact, in a bull cycle, you're going to make money off almost all of these coins if you liquidate them properly, if your timing is right. And that's what happens with these meme coins. The difference between being successful in one of these pumps could be literally hours, a few hours. That could be it. So if you're not like constantly at your computer, if you don't have the time to really sit at your computer and analyze this stuff and look at these markets and look at these charts all day, you know, a lot of times you're not going to make it. So here we go. A Trump themed token ballooned to 155,000 million market cap before cratering 95%. So it was rugged. Once they found out Trump wasn't really behind it, it was rugged. Most likely the people who created it, they rugged it. You know what I mean? So if you didn't get in and get out when you seen that thing pump up 1,000%, if you got greedy thinking this was going to be long term, or if you really believe that Trump was behind that coin, even though you didn't hear him or any of his people say anything officially, well, then you got pulled and you probably deserved it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're new to this crypto thing, all you need to really do is study Bitcoin. I'm not even telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying study it. Learn it, understand what blockchain is, understand what decentralized finance is, understand what these decentralized protocols and how they work. Because if you don't even know that, you're not going to even be able to get into these coins. You're not going to know how to get in and out and take these profits properly. You're not going to be able to. So the first thing you do is you study the fundamentals, the basics. This has stopped this, and that will also protect you or inoculate you from being scammed by these quote unquote opportunities that are abundant during these bull cycles. These bull cycles are just ripe with different types of opportunities, quote unquote, that people will suggest that you get into. Oh, this new coin, it's the ABC banana coin from blah, blah, blah blockchain. You should get it. It's going to be the next Bitcoin. It's cap. There's not going to be another Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what it is. The reason why Bitcoin is worth 60,000 right now, and we're saying it's down 3% for the week, but it's up. It's at 60,000. It takes 60,000 US dollars to accumulate one Bitcoin. At one point, you can get for $1 10,000 Bitcoin. Now one Bitcoin is 60,000. But why? It's because it's scarce. There's only 21 million. That's why. If there was 21 billion Bitcoins, Bitcoin would only be worth $60. Do the math. So it's because of its scarcity, because of how secure it's been. And of course, institutions are now getting involved. There's Bitcoin ETFs. You're not going to get an ETF for some of these Solana meme coins. Let's just be real. So you got to be careful with that. Is that all I want to get to? I was going to get to this other story, but I think I'm going to leave it alone. There's another story that's floating around, and I think it has to do with that first story, that story I just showed you about Trump getting into the RWAs, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, when it comes to some of these celebrities or company coins and you think that they're serious, if you haven't heard it directly from that celebrity or from that company, enter it at your own risk. Because a lot of times what happens, even when you do see celebrities, and I've seen a lot of them on these Twitter spaces, pumping different coins or at least being involved in them, a lot of times they're just the face. They had nothing to do with the development. They're just getting money for their face to be used. They don't even know when it's going to be rug pulled to protect themselves. They don't know this. So just understand that. Fundamentals is all you really need. So I will put links if you want to go back and look at some of the archives of CryptTalk podcast. My channel was literally taken down because I did expose some scams, and I was very good at doing so. Let me make sure my volume is on this time. All right. Because, CryptTalk podcast, and I'll leave the link, if you want to check out the archives of that, which is on a different platform. I called it. I called the last bull cycle. I called a lot of these coins. I told people, hey, just hold solid projects. If you're new to crypto, don't worry about trying to get into the latest meme coin, altcoin that's promised to go up to 1,000% and this and that. Get Bitcoin, hold it. Get Ethereum, hold it. You got about a year and a couple months before you're probably going to see the peak of the market according to historical pattern. You'll be okay. Just hold some solid projects that really have development on their blockchain, that really have utility, that really has different types of partnerships, and there's a few of them. Like I said, when I say 99.9% are garbage, I mean because there's literally tens of thousands or more coins. So out of that, maybe 15 are worth looking at. Really, maybe 20 of them are worth looking at for real, for long-term holds, for any type of length of time. The rest of them, they're just going to be fly-by-nights, because Bitcoin could do everything these other coins can do. Bitcoin, you could do NFTs. Bitcoin, you could do DeFi. You have second layers now. Bitcoin can now be transacted with the Lightning Network instantly for a very, very, very low cost. So everything that you want, Bitcoin can do. So it's really going to take some serious development, like Ethereum, to be able to have their own niche of things they can do. I'll be real, Solana is trying to get into these different niche things, the DePIN technology, decentralized infrastructure, and things like that. But, they haven't been stable. So I'm still kind of sketchy on them. So just be careful, y'all. Learn the game before you try to play the game. Make sure you join Blockchain Crypto Gang Facebook group. Follow on Twitter at CryptTalkP. Subscribe here if you haven't already. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. I love engagements. You can also hit me up at CryptTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for your time, y'all. Peace. All right, there we go. First time I was on mute.